guys, Work here. So, Builder Shooter and I just got out of John Wick 3 Parabellum. And we thought we'd give you guys a quick little review. I mean, this isn't a review channel, but it's a gun movie. And, hey, it was good. What'd you think?
There were several times where I yelled bullshit where I hadn't in the previous two movies.
It's true. I don't feel like the gunplay was quite as realistic in this one as it was in the last one. And there were a lot of times that he probably should have been stabbed and he wasn't.
Yes.
A lot of times.
I'm still trying to figure out how he couldn't get through body armor with the Combat Master shooting 9mm major loads.
Right.
Which is equivalent to like a 38 Super.
Yep.
And then he turned around and went through body armor with an MPX with a 10-inch barrel. Nobody said anything about the loads. I assume they're just standard loads, which would be equivalent to a 38 Super.
At best, yeah.
Yes. And also the MPX was louder than the Combat Master, which is...
That's true.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, overall, good movie. I would... Again, the realism just wasn't quite there with this one. Now, the hand-to-hand combat was significantly better in this one. I thought that
there was so much hand-to-hand, which makes sense. Like, that is what this movie's supposed to be about.
Right.
Him running for his life.
Right. And I'll tell you the first...
Again. Running for his life again.
Again. So, the first, like, probably half hour of it was mostly knife play. And they busted into... just for, so you know, spoilers. Don't watch this if you haven't already watched the movie. That would be silly.
Or really care about it. Like, there's not much plot to the movie.
No. But, well, there was a little bit of plot, and I'll get to that in a minute, because I'm not sure if I agreed with it. But, so the first half hour or so was a lot of knife play, and they busted into, like, some museum thing. Well, first of all...
I forgot about that already.
So the revolver was before this. So they busted into this museum.
He was in the museum when he did the revolver.
Right. So he busted into this museum and he swapped a revolver from...
He swapped like three different revolvers from a museum.
Yep.
And then took a loaded round off of the shelf of the museum, which
would have never been. Yeah. And stuck it in there and fired... Did all of this work on this revolver. He pulled the barrel, pulled the cylinder, pulled the hammer, and didn't have... I've never taken apart a single action revolver.
I didn't see a hammer spring.
I didn't either.
Or like the screw that goes in.
People are wondering what the hell we're doing. I mean, he did all of this work and fired one round. A single round.
Cowboy style, from the hip.
It was cowboy
headshot.
Style. Yeah, which,
Which a 44-40 to your head would kill you dead.
It would.
It would.
That rhymed. That should... I like that. A 44-40 to the head. It will kill you dead.
Let's change it to 45-70.
45-70 to the head. That's kind of a given though. Anyway, so they bust into this room with all these knives, and the knife play was pretty good. Lots of trying to stab. Again, a lot of situations where they probably,
stabby, cutty.
Right. It was this, and he was blocking, and like the guy wouldn't just turn his hand and go like that to stab him. But I did appreciate in the knife throwing scene how... very long knife throwing scene. How, for a good solid 10 seconds or so, they were not within the proper distance to throw knives, and they were just beating each other with the butt of the knives because they weren't getting that extra rotation. So I appreciated that.
I like that better than dodging, because it's like, oh yeah, throwing knives aren't practical.
Right, yeah. And
then he nailed somebody in the nuts, so that made me giggle.
Dude, the number of nut shots in this movie. John Wick has no shame in hitting you in the balls.
I like it.
And Halle Berry's dogs have no shame in biting you in the balls.
It hung from that one dude. It jumped up on the wall and hung from his testicles.
It was... Man, they were vicious on ball sacks in this show. In this movie.
I really appreciated it. It made me giggle.
Well, I appreciate this, that it's like when you're in a life or death fight, there aren't rules of like, don't hit a dude in the nuts. Like, you're gonna hit a dude in the nuts if that's what's gonna stop him. Let's see, what else? So, met Halle Berry, did some stuff. The dogs were pretty cool. Lots of nut bites. I did, however, I had some problems with that whole interaction with Halle Berry's, their big fight scene that they get into. Halle Berry fired 38 shots out of what looked to be a Glock 17. I don't know. It was really,
a 17 or 19 Terran Tactical.
They were really poorly lit. Like, you couldn't... I wish they had lit the... this is going to sound kind of petty. I wish they had lit the guns a little bit better, because sometimes it was really hard to tell what they were using. Anyway, it's a Glock 19, 17, somewhere in there. Maximum of 17 rounds. It did not have an extended mag. I looked. 38 rounds. 38 before she reloaded.
He did lean over and say that to me, but I thought I saw her reload.
I was watching very... She reloaded before that.
Okay.
So she did some stuff, did a reload, did some stuff, did a reload, and then went 38 shots straight. And then she did a couple more reloads after that,
And there was, like, cuts to John and cuts to the dog, so... I mean, you could assume that maybe she reloaded,
No, actually, that 38 shots... That was a straight her shot.
Oh, yeah, that was.
They stuck with her for quite a while, showing how her and the dogs were kind of jumping back and forth. But it was all her the whole time, and 38 shots.
Hands down, favorite weapon in the entire movie. Go.
Oh, man. I'm not going to say the dogs. I'm not going to say the dogs.
What's your favorite weapon in the whole movie?
Oh, dang it. I want to say the dogs, but I'm not going to say the
Mine's the dogs.
I'm not going to say the dogs. I gotta...
Like, they're just badass. They're going around biting people in the nuts.
It's got to be the dogs.
It was.
They got a nut fetish, for sure.
They do. And then they jumped in the car with the people, and they were like, oh, crap.
Man, that one guy just squirted out the side of his neck.
Like, I'm just saying, I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's Belgian Malinois. Whatever. It's like a German Shepherd, but skinnier and meaner. I liked it.
It was a good movie, but there was a lot going on. I mean, it's kind of like the first ones where it's just solid action the whole time through. So it's really hard to, like, pick out and pinpoint things that you're thinking of. The whole thing with Halle Berry and her actually helping him. I know that he technically had a marker, but at that point he was excommunicado, and the marker doesn't mean crap at that point.
Yeah.
And the way that things are running, she's management, so she runs a Continental-ish, like whatever they call them there. And she's losing that. Like, there's no way that they're not going to go after her, because they know everybody who's helped John. So she takes him up to, like, the big mint guy, and he gives him... I thought he was going to go, like, way more into, like, into depth of, like, the markers and the coins, and was going to, like, shed some light. I keep wanting more of this world that they've built, and they won't give it to me.
I think it's on purpose. It's an assassin world. You're not supposed to know anything
But I want to know. It's a movie about an assassin world. Give me that crap.
And to be fair, she would have gotten in a whole lot less trouble if she would have actually listened to John Wick.
That's true, but he shot her dog.
He did. I mean, like, legitimately... I mean, if somebody shot my dog, I would be sad. I wouldn't go on a killing spree.
Right. Your dead wife didn't give you your dog. There's that.
If I had a dead wife, it would be different.
Right. I mean, that explains John, though. And I mean, like, I know Halle Berry's attached to the dogs and all, but...
They're supplemental for her child, I believe.
I guess, yeah.
Anyway.
Whatever. So, yeah, so they go at it.
I will say the biggest part that I didn't like the 38 rounds, whatever, for you, the number one thing for me was he got kicked repeatedly through sheets of glass.
Yes.
I mean, to the point where it was like, oh, come on, guys. I want to say
time after time, nothing in between.
There was at least 15 total.
Yeah.
I mean, from the first one he got kicked through to the last one, it was at least 15, if not more.
And even if it wasn't...
never got cut, which was interesting.
I was going to say, even if it's not the pain of getting kicked through glass, like, he would turn over and put his hands on the ground to get up. That crap's sharp.
Yeah.
Like, your hands would be in shreds.
It was all safety glass, but still, safety glass cuts you.
Also, I want to point out... Oh, wait, no. Which hand are quad loads done with? They're done with the right hand, aren't they? Was he doing right or left? So,
he cut it
in the movie, he got his left ring finger cut off. This is another thing that I have issue with, but I'll get back to that in just a minute. And I want to say he's doing quad loads with his left hand. He's doing quad loads minus a ring finger that he got cut off a day ago. So,
he was doing single loads, though. Or he was doing double loads, not quad loads.
I'm pretty sure he had 2 and 2 because he was shink.
We'll have to rewatch it.
Yeah, I'm not paying though. So another thing that I had issue with was the whole him going back to the king or whatever the guy was called, the guy over the high table, and like after everything he's been through to get out, to try to stay out, getting pulled back in and all that crap, the dude's like, well, I'll either kill you or you can pledge your loyalty to me
and work for us until you die.
Right, work for us until you die. And so John's like, okay, cool. Chops his finger off, gives the dude his wedding ring, the thing that like was basically the foundation for all of this stuff.
And then he chopped his finger off behind his wedding ring. So if you look at it, it's back here, right? Yeah. So then through the rest of the which I totally get, it's how they made the movie. But the rest of the movie, it's up here because he was doing the scenes like this, and then like when you would see his finger, they would get rid of it. Which I totally get why they did that, but...
We're getting stares from the people inside the theater right now wondering why the hell we're still out here.
Both of them.
Are they making out in the car?
We'll just check and see if Josh was back there.
So, I mean, it's still a good movie. The gunplay wasn't as good as in the last ones, but it was still okay. Jeez, that person pulled really close to me.
They had a SIG MPX that was the same size as a freaking 5.56 AR.
So,
and he's running around with it, wondering why it won't go through body armor, when he could be running around with, I don't know, maybe he was running semi-auto, maybe a freaking short-barreled POF 308.
So...
And that would go through armor.
Yeah. So since this is a gun channel, getting back to that type of thing, man, some of the gun choices are bullcrap in these. He went up against their version of the League of Assassins, I guess. I watched too many comic book movies. With a freaking PCC, a pistol caliber carbine. Why do they insist upon using...
He shouldn't have to worry about over-penetration. He's trying to kill people.
Like, no, you run a rifle round, or like at least an intermediate cartridge, like even if it was a 223, like a green tip. Well, I mean, in this magical world where these guys' body armor doesn't even their 9mm bouncing off of their
and they don't they're getting shot in the head and their head doesn't move with a 9mm major. I don't know exactly offhand. They give the specs. 125 grains at 1,400 feet per second.
It's just shy of the 357 Magnum.
You're in the 400 to 500 foot-pounds of energy, and it's hitting them in the face.
Yeah,
and
that's gonna move you.
That's gonna break your neck
right here. So they're going at this, and they're doing it all in a PCC. Now I've got a big problem.
And then he does this thing where he goes from the PCC, which PCCs aren't designed to go through armor. Whatever. So he goes back into the armor, and you're like, hell yeah, he's going to get a 308 or 5.56.
Something.
Run around with a bolt action 360 no-scope people or something. He's John Wick. But no, he grabs a shotgun. And apparently, the shotguns in this universe don't work the same way as the shotguns in our universe, because their shotguns blow freaking heads off that are armored, that were bulletproof 5 minutes earlier.
I think he said that they were steel rounds.
He said they were shooting steel slugs.
But you're pushing it. It should have been a rifle. I think it was dumb to toss a PCC in the first place, but
it was Terran Tactical.
That's what they get for yanking Terran. I don't like Terran. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like Terran. He makes good guns. Guy's kind of a douchebag. And on top of that, just the product placement of the Terran Tactical stuff in there, it makes the entire environment less realistic than I would want. In that kind of a situation, I would expect a short barrel rifle either in 223 or 300 Blackout.
300 Blackout, I would, as much as I don't would have been the better option. And
suppressed.
He
would have been running a suppressor on both the rifle and the pistol in my world. This dude, they're getting attacked by everybody
with suppressors.
Yeah. And
pick up the suppressed MP5.
He's still a PCC.
It's quieter though. You can
stop it with the PCCs, people.
You can shoot them.
If you're going against someone and you have the envelope of an intermediate cartridge rifle, use an intermediate cartridge rifle, for God's sakes.
Or even better, a 308. You know
Something.
what? Screw it. I'm not a big fan of it, but 6.5 Creedmoor. 6.5
Anything.
Grendel. 7.62 39 God's caliper.
Literally anything would have
Nemo.
been better than a 9mm PCC.
Nemo 300 Win Mag. Line them up.
So,
I would like to see
I
some
think-
Barrett room clearing. That would have been okay with me.
you know, I
They
saw
make a short-barreled Barrett.
They do. I saw Keanu's his training stuff that he did at Terran. They had like an ex-SEAL come and help him out with some training and stuff, and didn't use a damn bit of it in the movie. Keanu is now like this super... I mean, he's more knowledgeable than probably half of us watching it, or half of you guys
I'm going
watching
to
it.
say 98%.
Both of us. Yeah, and they did not utilize the stuff that he did there this time around. They just didn't. I feel like a lot of the shots, I wish that they would put in higher powder loads in those blanks, because the recoil just isn't... I don't know, it's when you shoot a lot, you pick that stuff out.
Something I did appreciate
Yes.
was the whole Mexican standoff scene. Where they all three had Glock 34s or 35s, whatever. And they all three were pointed at each other out of ammo. And they all three went to reload at the same time. And John Wick got, he got reloaded faster because he's the good guy. And
Right.
Pop, pop! I thought that was pretty cool.
That was good. I mean, we're picking it apart. It wasn't a bad movie.
It was a very
It was
entertaining
enjoyable.
movie.
Like, it was
Compared to
entertaining.
what gun movies have been, where you just run around with a Glock with one mag and
Yep.
take out all the bad guys, or like Commando, which you've never seen because you're not American, where he just runs around with the belt fed, or no, Commando.
No, that was Terminator. Or not Terminator. That
Commando,
was,
he runs around
Predator.
with a Commando. He runs around with an RPK because it's magazine fed, and then he picks up an M60 after that.
But I mean, it was enjoyable. It was a fun movie, but I don't know, if you're a gun guy and you're going for like the gun stuff, you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna enjoy this one as much as 1 or 2.
No, because I never figured out what gun Halle Berry had in the very first scene you have with her. It just looked like a blank pistol.
It looked to me. It looked like a Walther P380
Oh yeah,
or PK380.
PK380.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. But the barrel or the
It did kind
barrel
of look
was
like
bigger.
a piece of shit.
It was weird. Yeah, it was weird. I kind of wish that they would pay a little fan service to the gun guys and light the pistols a little bit better. And they, as I said, I think that they went a little. It was still good
They
action.
did light them every time you saw Terran Tactical.
Yeah, every time you saw Pterodactyl, it was really big up there. And the entire intro was like they had already run 2 Pterodactyl guns just in the intro for the movie. Which, that was weird. That was kind of weird how they ran that intro. Like, typically you'll have
it was like a weird James Bond style intro.
Yeah, it was.
And then in the end, he's running around with a Glock 34 sized gun. It's got a red dot optic on it that I've never seen in my life.
I haven't either. It had
It
really
was
weird
squared
sides
It
on
was
them.
squared off like a RMR.
Yep.
It had wings on it like the RMS shield, but it was big like an RMR.
And the wings were not like the...
And they were serrated wings.
Yeah, the wings weren't like nice, clean, like into the design of it. It was like the props department like took saw blades, cut some holes in it, and screwed those onto the side because they thought that that's what it needed. So that was kind of weird.
I mean, they legitimately could have done that whole shoot with an RMR on there, and they wouldn't have hurt it.
Yeah. I mean, he never actually shot anybody with that pistol anyway, so there was a lot of knife and gunplay in this movie.
There was a lot. The main guys that were hunting him were
That's true.
like little samurai ninja guys.
Yeah. They had cool little katana things.
The horse scene was cool.
The horse scene was cool.
Had a good old fashioned lynching almost.
Oh my gosh. Dude, like 3 different dudes got nailed in the head with a horse.
He figured out how to headshot with a horse. It was awesome. It would have
was
been
pretty
better
cool.
if it was nut shots, but
I will give them they had a lot of very creative deaths in this one. But yeah, I mean, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I just as far as gun stuff goes, it was a movie that you go to enjoy. It was not like the other two where it's quite as like fun for like gun stuff, but I still think that the John Wick franchise in movies is the best modern day action shoot 'em up franchise that there is.
Yeah.
This one maybe not. It still was better gunplay in this movie than any other action movie I can think of.
Heat was the best and still is the best in my opinion.
I'll have to go back on that one.
I'm not leaving this one just because I know pricing on stuff. I watched the first one and I was like, well, I need a P30L with HK parts match weight on it.
Yes,
and then I watched the second one and I was like, ha, I got a Glock 34. And then I watched this one and I'm like, I'm not going to sell a vehicle to get a Combat Master, so I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It kind of takes it away from being like the everyday guy.
Which, it makes sense why he's doing that. Also, I did call bullshit on he shot the Combat Master underwater. And there's just no way that gun's going to work underwater.
No, and he shot it multiple times. If he had shot it once, it would have been good.
Once I get it, yeah.
Like, because
the hammer still got a fault. It's not. Yeah. It's not a striker gun.
No, I've seen hammer guns fire underwater. Yeah. I've seen CZs fire underwater.
Berettas probably can.
Beretta, God's pistol.
What? John Wick 4, Langdon Tactical.
Ooh. Hopefully it's somebody other than Taryn.
It'll just be him going, a bang, a bang, a bang.
just playing with it. Boom, 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 boom. It's so smooth.
See that guy over there?
Boom, boom. Hip shot, hip shot, hip shot.
Listen, my body hurts. I got dogs.
You want to give it like a rating? Should we give it a rating? Should we do a 10?
Movie rating and gun guy rating.
Okay, all right. That sounds good. Okay. Movie rating, go.
7.5.
I'm going to agree. 7.5 is movie rating. When we say gun guy rating, we're talking about like movies with guns, not like all. So like 0 isn't like a movie without guns.
Right.
0 is like a movie with guns that blows.
Yes. Okay? Like a Sci-Fi Channel movie.
Right. And like 10 is like John Wick 1.
Heat. Yes.
Heat. Okay.
Comparable.
All right.
Go first.
Gun guy movie score.
You go first.
Hey guys, so after sleeping on it, I've decided that I gave this movie a pretty rough gun guy score. I've changed. I'm actually going to give it a 7.5 on the gun guy score. During the review, we had been talking about kind of all the negative stuff, and no, it's too enjoyable of a movie not to give it at least a decent gun guy score. It was a really, really fun movie. You have to nitpick in order to find some of that stuff, but you know, it's not going to get a perfect 10 from me. Gun guy wise, the first two were better, but the first two for me were up near 10, like 9.5 to 10. But this one's a solid 7.5. Lots of nice gunplay. So yeah, that's where my gun guy rating is, 7.5. I'm
giving it a 10. There wasn't a whole lot of gun sins.
It's
he
because
did muzzle a guy. That was interesting.
He did. He muzzled Winston.
Yeah.
Dang.
With a 12 gauge.
With a 12 gauge, with armor piercing bullets, rounds, shells, whatever.
And then he walked out with his finger on the trigger. But I'm just being petty at this point.
Yeah, that's true. You bastard. Well, that's it.
We need to start Gun Sin channel, like they have Cinema Sins.
Ooh. Hey, if you guys would like to watch Gun Sins, let us know. I think that's good.
Someone's got to be able to pay for my addiction.
That's true. This is not pulling it off. So that's it, guys. That is our gun guy review of John Wick 3 Parabellum. That's all I got. So, we thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. Remember, we appreciate every one of you.
Do your research. Do your research. Get informed and get to work.
Hey guys, so this lighting is crap. You just look creepy like that.
I kind of look like the boogeyman.
That's just weird. The Baba Yaga.
Trying to improve it.
Here, we'll get... Yeah, there we go. Ah!
It's good.
Oh. Here, all right, that one's shining at my face.
Thanks, appreciate that.
That one's shining right at me. Okay, it's mood lighting. I want to say the dogs, but I'm not going to say the
Mine's the dogs.
I'm not going to say the dogs. This is the spectrum of all... Did you just crap in my car?
There's no proof yet.